Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 days, legislative days, to revise and extend their remarks and include any extraneous material on the subject of this special order. I rise this evening for the Congressional Black Caucus Special Order Hour that deals with, of course, Juneteenth, a very, very special time that I am delighted with the leadership of our chair, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, and, of course, my co-anchor, Congressman Torres of New York, that we stand here to provide this kind of leadership for this Congress and for this nation. So let me extend my heartfelt appreciation for all of the leadership that have given us this time, including Speaker Pelosi and, of course, Leader Hoyer, and to acknowledge the significance to African Americans as it relates to Juneteenth. Coming from Texas, let me tell you that Juneteenth, a couple of days from today, will be an amazing commemoration. We will be unveiling a mural in Galveston where General Granger first came. I believe thousands will come, and if they will not be thousands, let you hear my voice. Thousands should come, because what a historic moment. What does Juneteenth mean? It means an acknowledgement of those who were in bondage for over 200 years, the Emancipation Proclamation, of which, by the way, for the 150th commemoration, because we had not finished our congressional work, I was actually here at midnight, which is when President Abraham Lincoln signed it at the National Archives, looking at the original Emancipation Proclamation. What a sense of emotion. But then to let you know that that did not free all of the slaves. 2 years in bondage continue for those west of the Mississippi in many states until General Granger reached the shores of Galveston, still marked today in Texas, that said that you were free. Can you imagine 2 extra years of bondage? Couldn't get out, couldn't read a newspaper or hold up a message that had come from your relative that lived in Georgia, couldn't do anything. General Granger read these words of General Order Number 3, set off a joyous celebration of the freed men and women of Texas. I have no shame that it was called Jubilee, and there was a lot of picnic and what we call in the later years red punch. Don't diminish that celebration. Don't diminish that joy in the midst of sorrow. How many died that could not see freedom? Here are the words. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection therefore existed between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. Now, the word was said that they were offered, the slaves, don't worry about it, just stay on the plantations and we will pay you. I am grateful that those courageous but impoverished, without insight, without resources, without compensation, without recognition, they said in their own power, we are leaving the plantations, and migrated up this road called Emancipation Trail, gratified that I was able to introduce such legislation where my Senate colleague, Senator Cornyn, joined me, and now an Emancipation Trail has been established as law. It is now under study. It will be only the second commemoration of African American history in this nation. The Selma to Montgomery is the first, and now the Emancipation Trail that says that no, I was not going to stay on the plantation. However I was going to survive, whatever I had to place together, I was going to do it. And then, of course, lo and behold, they found themselves, 8 of them, freed slaves, put their money together and purchased the first park bought in the state of Texas by freed slaves or anyone. They called it Emancipation Park. So that's why we're here, to celebrate and to educate this idea of what it means to celebrate Juneteenth. Delighted that we've introduced a resolution that is bipartisan, but the most excited part about this is that I've introduced the resolution, not the resolution, but the HR that establishes Juneteenth as a national federal holiday, not removing any other holiday, but adding it to the list, co-sponsored by Senator Markey and Senator Cornyn, and a bipartisan over 160 co-sponsors in the House. I think it is worthy to have a holiday a federal holiday established, and I am very proud to have been the congressperson for Representative Al Edwards, who is called the father of Juneteenth, establishing the first state holiday, paid state holiday, in the state of Texas, highlighting, honoring, revering Juneteenth. You will hear many of us continue our discussions about Juneteenth, its significance in terms of freedom, and I'm delighted, as I said, to be co-anchoring with my colleague. And as well, it's important to express our appreciation to our chair, and I would now like to yield to the Honorable Barbara Lee, a Californian, but born in Texas, and a grandfather born in Galveston. She knows what Juneteenth significance, the power of it is, and her legislative legacy speaks to freedom. I yield to the Honorable Barbara Lee.
Thank you very much.